Hey guys, first off, my apologies for being gone for over what is now, I guess, over 2 weeks. Um, just to give like a overview explanation. I know I told you guys I was gonna be here every day of the month or every day of October. However, life had other plans for me, and things were getting much harder to manage. And in terms of time, I definitely had a lot of moments where I needed to really put some time aside for myself. To either get schoolwork done, applications done, or just something else. And it took a lot of time. And there were various moments throughout this whole thing that definitely tested me in terms of time management and just perseverance. It was tough, but I just needed that little mental break for myself a little bit. I don't know how many mental breaks I really need, but I just wanted to make sure I came back as timely as I could. And I think today was the best day because, I'm still getting back on top of my schoolwork and stuff, but not as clustered. Anyways, I thank you guys for putting up. Sorry. I thank you guys for putting up with me in my absence recently. I appreciate all of you guys that are still here and just supporting me, loving me, just watching the video all the way through. Like, I appreciate you so much. And I thank you. I'm gonna be continuing to do my best, continuing to get back on track with my passions. I've been struggling with that recently, just because, as I said, I've been putting a lot of stuff on pause to get stuff done. But I do still have a passion to be there for you guys and be there for the world, and I still have passions for many other things. But just kind of getting back into them has been a little bit more shaky recently. But moving forward, onto the video. First off, good morning, good evening, good night, whatever time you're watching this video. It is currently Tuesday, November 7th, 2023. Right now, it is 6 p.m. I got home not too long ago. However, I just kind of been settling in, like just settling in. Yeah. So moving forward, fourth off. Second off, if your day is just starting, I hope you have a great day. If you're in the middle of your day, I hope you are having a great day. And if you are coming towards the end of your day and it has not been so great, if it has been trying, if it has been daunting, if it has been draining, whatever the word is that is not positive, do something to make it more positive. Do something to make it better, because you still got time and you can still make a change. Even though, you might not be able to have the most amazing day within the amount of time you have right now, at least trying and striving for it is all you can do. Just making sure it's not as bad as it once was. Because that's all we can do. It's all we have control over. So, it's really a choice to decide on if that bad majority is going to become a bad day. That falls on you. So, yeah. Moving forward, today's video is going to be a word of the day. And this word of the day is actually brought to you by a saying that I read in a book like a minute ago, like a good amount of months ago, blended with a thing I keep hearing as I'm, progressing and learning new skills, new habits, new passions, developing within my passions. And kind of just correcting a commonly mistaken or misspoken saying, which that saying or this word of the day is practice makes permanent. In life, we are taught that if we really want something, we must work for it constantly. We must continue to fine tune ourselves and shape ourselves at whatever thing that is, whether it's, learning how to hit a ball, whether that's learning how to catch something, whether that's learning how to write better, read better, whatever the case may be. Whenever we are learning and developing something, a skill, at least, and we want to be proficient enough, we are reminded and constantly told this really, not cliche, it was kind of cliche saying, practice makes perfect. This concept of basically saying that if you practice it a bunch of times and you do it a bunch of times, it'll eventually be perfect and it'll be amazing. However, what I want you to take away from this video is not to really deny that claim, but more so look at it in a manner that is more promoting of growth, that is more ideal, that is less, I guess, pessimistic to a degree. And that is what I want you to think of when you say practice makes permanent, not perfect. When you say practice makes perfect, or whenever you want something to be perfect, quote unquote, that leads us to chase getting it perfect rather than chasing the actual objective. In many cases, we may want something to be perfect and not really appreciate how good it already is. Even though, oh, I got a really good score on this, or I got really close to what I wanted to, but it's not there. It's not the best possible thing that could have happened. And it takes away from those moments that we are present with. And it takes away from our presence within our life. And it takes away from moments when we should be proud because we are striving for something that's not really possible. Perfection is never possible. Nobody or nothing is really perfect in this world. Everything has its own faults. Everything has its own, fine tuning. Everything still needs some work, no matter what you do, no matter what it is, no matter what movie, what show, what act, whatever you want to consider. Anything in this life, nothing in this physical world is of perfection. Nothing is meant to be of perfection within this world. Everything has a fault or a flaw to something, because not everybody views something the same way. Not everybody appreciates something the same way. Not everybody thinks the same way. So how can something be perfect? That means being perfect is essentially being without flaw from any perspective, without any form of flaw in anything. But there are so many billions of opinions and, trillions of opinions within just considering all of history. To consider something perfect is to be flawed, to be jaded, to be assuming or striving for something that really isn't there. You can always be better. You can always be the best you can be. You can be the best. However, being perfect is something that is still through all of generations of cultures and ideas and everything else is still constantly trying to be attained. So I would say practice makes permanent. I actually got this from a golf book that I was learning, where it kind of talked about bad habits and how, some people will go and, I practice every day and I do this every day. But if you're doing it the wrong way, you're learning something wrong and you're making that thing permanent and wrong within that game. And just paralleling that with life, you may be practicing something constantly and constantly doing it all the time because you think, if I just do it a bunch of times, it's going to get perfect at some point. But it's flawed. What you're doing a bunch of times is you're reinforcing something. You're building a habit. And whether that habit's good or bad is never fully, sure or uncovered or truly confirmed. That's why striving to make perfection shouldn't be the case, but making permanency, making something permanent. If you are sure that you're doing it the right way, and if you are doing it in the correct manner, in a manner that is how it's meant to be, and continue to want to do it, you will be permanent within that thing. That thing will be permanent within you. It'll be more permanent. But to assume that doing it constantly will get you something perfect, which is, as I said, it's almost like a concept rather than a reality, will only lead to you being displeased with life, being disappointed with things because it's not perfect, or it's not as perfect as I need it to be. You are enforcing something, you are building a habit, and it is still growing, whether that is practicing, which is anything, practicing a skill, practicing a lifestyle, practicing a habit. If you want it to last, if you want it to be there, it doesn't have to be flawless, but just be there. You have to practice it, and that's what makes it permanent. Just carrying it over in terms of just the word permanent. We have so many ideas and habits, and, we want to live these lifestyles, but those require habits, and those habits need to be built by practicing them constantly and making sure that they are made, that they are permanent within us, that they are instilled within us. That is the biggest thing that is required or of necessity when we want to get somewhere, be somewhere, or live a certain way. It requires us to practice those things. And that is the biggest thing I can really just give in this whole concept of practice makes permanent. If you want something, if you want to be somewhere or a certain thing, if you want to do something a certain way, you must practice it until it gets to that point. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's never going to really fully be perfect. But as long as you are getting somewhere and instilling something within you that is of benefit, that is of positivity, then that is all you can really ask for. That is all I got. I thank you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. All have watched all the way through this video. All support is greatly appreciated. Watching the video, liking the video, commenting on the video, giving feedback, sharing this with someone that you think would take something away from this. Any feedback is greatly appreciated. I love you guys, and I thank you guys so much. God bless all of you and your souls. And I appreciate all of you. Take care of yourself, love yourself, and be yourself. Always do that. Make sure you're constantly doing that, because this is the only life that you are guaranteed that you know of right now. So why take away from it? But yeah, AD is out.